A female presenter, very rare for this club. We've had maybe two others. Both have been, one of them has been a member, Beth, she sits over there usually, and the other was the jewelry lady, Nora did a program. So tonight we have Maria Stillwagon to talk about the Franklin half dollars. All right.
There has to be a disclaimer. I was told all the way here from home to make sure I let everybody know Bob Luna was not a part of this. This is all my doing. He has, it was hard, but you know, he's a man, so I just kept it in front of him and he never saw it. So, basically the way I wanted to do a presentation was more from the aspect of being someone who's new to collecting. It's very intimidating sometimes to come here, and with all the knowledge that's in this room, language is spoken that, for me being new into this, I've only been doing this for 4 years, is kind of intimidating. And then my mentor, Mr. Luna, gets with his romance, Larry. You kind of get shoved out of the way because they're in their own little world and stuff. So I've learned to, for me, to focus on one coin, and I chose the Franklin half. I like the Franklin half because it's actually a very easy coin to collect. There's only 35 for a whole complete set. So the Franklin half dollar, it's a coin that was struck by the United States Mint from 1948 to 1963. The 50-cent piece pictures our founding father Benjamin Franklin on the obverse, and on the Liberty, or on the reverse is the Liberty Bell. They do have a small eagle that's right up in here that they had to put on there because to fulfill the legal requirements of the half dollars had to depict the figure of an eagle on each one. It was controversial because a lot of people thought that it took away from the reverse of it, but they still put it on there and went ahead. The only mints that really did produce this was Philadelphia, Denver, and the San Francisco Mint. One of the things about this coin is that it's produced in 90% silver with a reeded edge. Franklin became the 5th person and the first non-president to be honored by the U.S. coin mint after Lincoln, Roosevelt, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. It was only stopped in 1963 after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, at which time the mint rushed to get a 50-cent piece out of Kennedy to do that. So it's only 35 coins for the whole series. That includes all days and mints combinations. So we had a limited of 15 years, 1948 to 1963. Before the Kennedy half dollar came in. There's a uniqueness about the half dollar coin is because that it doesn't have a president on it. It's the first coin that has someone other than a president. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm really nervous here.
You're doing great.
Take a breath.
Just have to shake your hand like that.
Think of a seizure in front of everybody.
No, it's fine.
So with this bullion value at 90% pure silver. So you can't go wrong with it. You can collect the Franklins at a very reasonable price in almost all grades. Usually it can be anywhere from $20 up to a couple $100 depending on the grade. Here are a few that PCG and NCG put out where one coin, these are the prices that they went. These are for the high rollers. Certainly not the everyday Joe like myself to do this, but there are some really good coins out there. One of the things in 1955 was the Bugs Bunny, and it was an error by a worn out die. You can see right, whoops, you can see right here, he has this little buck tooth going on. It's a highly sought after one, but actually it's not an uncommon, hard to find coin. But dealers do tend to raise the price a little bit because it is called the Bugs Bunny way to do that. Okay, here we have what I like to look at is you hear a lot about Franklin House has to be FBL, full bell lines, and that's what really strikes it as being a very high quality coin. What I didn't know is, yes, I knew about the bell lines. There should be 7 bell lines here, and as you can see here, they're nice and clear. But what also makes it FBL is here, right in here, there's 3 strands of hairs that have to be predominant there. I was not aware of that. I've always been looking here, but you have to have both of them in order for it to be a full bell line.
Wow.
These are some of my favorite coins. I love the proof coins. It's kind of hard to see on here, but this is a 1950 proof. And as you can see how well defined everything is. Here it's a little bit kind of jaggedy, but it's still good. But nothing beats the cameo, which is what I love. And with the cameo, this is a 1953 proof cameo. And as you can see, it's with the dark backing and then the cameo in front. Here it has all the full bell lines. And there's the hairs, very predominant there. Overall, I think the Franklin half is an intriguing coin to say the least. It's affordable to collect, it's rich in history, and it has a relatively sizable intrinsic value, making it very worthwhile a coin to consider collecting. It's very easy. I've seen on a lot of Rick Tomas on TV, or Damascus, selling sets and things. And you can get a complete set right now for about $600. Or you can go, depending on the grade that you want, I've seen it go as high as $1,500 to $1,600. But it's a set that, if you take the time, it's very easy to sit and listen to what everybody's saying about it, but a lot of these coins are subjective. So what one person has to say about it, another one, is 2 different things. I suggest you research it. I actually enjoyed the last few months doing a lot of reading on the internet about the Franklin halves and learning about the different things, and it's very easy for me to get used to it. As a female, I can tell you the grade of a diamond from a mile away because I've been looking at jewelry since I was 2. But when it came to coins, it's very intimidating with those people around you. Yes, they have a lot of knowledge, but don't let that intimidate you. Take the time, focus on one coin, get to know that coin, get the grades that you want, and then move on to the next coin, and so forth and so forth. Because otherwise you walk into a show, everything's so beautiful, shiny, and next thing you know, you're telling your partner, I need $32,000, please give it to me.
Yes.
It doesn't work that way. So it's easier, and it's maybe I need a new partner. No. He's a good man. But the thing is, it's just taking the time, get to learn about the coins and get to know the history of it. Because then it's when you meet other people, like I just met somebody at work whose husband collects coins. And it was great to have them over for dinner, and her and I were talking while Bob and her husband was talking, and I actually had something to say. And it was nice to be able to have that knowledge. Not an expert, but you know what? It's something that we all just grow into. And for us not to be intimidated or scared about it. Coins really are a lot of fun. And I actually really enjoyed it in the last 4 years. I got to meet such wonderful people and stuff, and that's my presentation. Thank you.
At this point, questions and answers, so be kind with your question, please.
Yes,
hey, stay out of this. We're doing fine here without you. You mentioned maybe being able to put together a set for $600 or so. What condition would that be, roughly?
And usually it's a BU, maybe BU 50, a little bit higher than that.
Oh, thank you.
Ms. Jean?
Yeah, I just have an add-on. You can always do what's called trading up. If you can't afford to get a real nice one to begin with, get one a couple of grades down, and as you're collecting and trading other stuff, sometimes you can go to somebody with 2 coins and say, hey, I'll trade you for this grade with 2 of these. And with other people in the club, you can actually trade up, and it's easier to do that than trying to line up $300 or $400.
I've actually here at the Diablo coin have been able to upgrade my coins just for my winnings here. So I mean, it can be done, and it's fun first to fill the book, So you like, wow, I've done it. But then it's more fun to keep upgrading it. It's always a work in progress as you move on to the next coin that you want to collect. Yes,
Rita,
Mr.
I like your presentation. I noticed the bell's cracked. Is that a die break?
Yes, it is. It is. But that's why it's only a proof rather than a proof.
It's a defect,
It's
yes.
a defect, yes.
Oh, man.
See, now if I was in a board meeting at work, I'd be calling you a name right about now.
The story, Davy Crockett went to Congress to fix the bell.
Yes.
Ooh.
He didn't get around to it. It's still correct.
See, it's that typical man thing. I'll do it,
I'll
don't
fix
worry
it.
about it,
Yeah.
right? And then it never did.
You don't have to keep
No.
reminding me every
Yes,
6 months.
exactly. You're not my mother. Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Back up your slides and I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Then we'll all the prices.
Yes.
So do you guys know,
I
you
wanted
guys
to
want to know
tell-
why these prices are so high?
They're full bell lines.
Well, no,
Yes, they're
besides
pretty
that,
high.
that's-
They have to be full
They're
outlines. for
very
sure.
well struck.
Yeah.
In the
Very well
case of
struck.
this one, yes, but what it is these are condition census rares, which
Condition, yeah.
means there might be 2 or 3 at that grade. When you start getting up at 67, that's pretty rare on a coin like that with so much, what we call fields, open areas. It's easy to
Yeah.
nix, you can't hide them as much. And the 53S is the rarest one of all with full bell lines. So if that coin was not a full bell line in that grade, it's, I don't know, a $250 coin. But the full bell lines makes it worth thousands more, because the first 5 or 6 off the die probably had full bell lines because they were weakly struck and the rest didn't, kind of thing.
And another thing too, what makes some of these coins rare is not the fact that they were a low mintage, it's that there's very few of them left. A lot were
Yeah,
melted
right.
down.
Melted down.
So, and then others kind of hoarded them and kept them. Yes, Manuel?
One of the things I was told also is that when they used to clean the dyes, they didn't sometimes clean good.
Right.
And those especially, there was a lot of milk spots.
Definitely.
For two grades.
But there's still a lot of good ones out there. You can still go.
You can pick up some good 60, 61, 62, very reasonably, 30, 40 bucks.
Absolutely.
And circulated, like, they trade at melt value, I don't know, 10, 12 bucks or whatever it is. And
Right.
I mean, somebody young with not a lot of money, like our new member, I could literally put an entire set together for not a whole lot of money.
Absolutely.
200 bucks, you'd probably have a whole set of them. They'd just be like high-end circulated, you know, like not VF maybe type grid.
But then again, it's also something that you can upgrade as you go along as well.
Any other questions for her?
Well done.
You've all been very kind.
Maria, on behalf of our association here, I'd like you to present you with the American Numismatic Association Speaker Award.
Thank you.
Maria, on the break, you have to replay it for Nancy because she just got here. Okay, so with that, let's take a 10-15 minutes.